Okay, let us examine this typical type of questions on forces. So you can see there, Adra held her ice skating boots with her hand as shown. Okay, there's a requirement. They say explain in terms of forces. So you take note of this. Explain in terms of forces why the ice skating boots did not slip out of her hand. So actually there's a force here, which is holding, and there's also another force pulling the ice skating boot downwards. So you must explain by saying the frictional force between her hand, okay, the frictional force between her fingers and the boots is greater than the gravitational force pulling the boots downwards. Okay, so this is the part you got to take note. The frictional force between, I use short form here, so it's BETWEEN. Okay, so frictional force, you must always explain between what surfaces. Okay, the frictional force between her fingers and the boots, and then you must have this comparison, is greater than the gravitational force pulling the boot downwards. So this frictional force here, that's why this force here exceeds the downward force. So for example, let's say this force is F1. Okay, this one is F2, the gravitational force. So mathematically, F1 is greater than the sign, the inequality sign, greater than F2. Okay. Part B, state the forces acting. So very straightforward. If you know to answer part A, part B, no problem, is gravitational force and frictional force. Okay, part C is something a little bit tricky. Okay, it says that Adra wanted to buy a new pair of skating boots. Her father told her to buy one. There's a typo error. Buy one with change this. Buy one with a thinner blade so she can skate faster. So there's a connection here. You see the relationship. Thinner blade, right? Can skate faster. So you're supposed to explain how a thinner blade allows her to skate faster. So the important things to note is this part. Okay, the thinner blade has lesser exposed surface area in contact with the ice. Okay, when you explain this part, you must always say, if you talk about surface area, is related to what? So this part is the surface area is the blade, right? So it's cutting through the ice. So because it's thinner, you will have less exposed surface area in contact with the ice, and this will lead to lesser frictional force between the blade and the ice surface. So there's a relationship. So this part. So you take note of this question. It may appear in your exam. This part. Okay, lesser exposed surface area in contact with the ice. So conversely, if you buy a thicker blade, ice skating blade, it will move slower. So the reason is a thicker blade will have greater exposed surface area with the ice. Therefore, there'll be more or there'll be greater frictional force between the blade and the ice, causing the skier or the ice skater to move slower. Okay, this question also appears in the prelim examinations in KPS. KPS is Kranji Primary School 2020 P6 paper. So I have gone through this question with you all. You can free screen or you can revisit the video in my YouTube channel. So we'll take a break now. See you later in about 6 minutes time. See you.